Kandanga Farm Store, we sell a heap of water equipment, everything from solar pumps, pipe, a lot of different fittings, float valves, troughs, livestock setups, push-in valves, pressure release valves, all the usual things. Most importantly, we can plan a good water equipment setup, especially for livestock production enterprises, because we do it holistically. We link it in with planning of the paddock layouts. You do your fencing and your waters all together, so you're not doing, if you do them all in isolation, then something doesn't match and you end up with little stuff-ups. So as part of our planning process, we do water installation jobs. When we first set up though, we're really, we've got our own farms, so we're really keen to not just sell whatever fittings the first rep walks in off the street and tries to sell us. So we did trial all the different types on the market. After a little while, we came up with a couple of different products that we decided to stock, based not only on their performance in their paddock, but also their innovation. Geico, or Norma, is the parent company. Geico is named after a guy called Guy Phillips, who also started Philmac. They had a really good innovation at the time, which we think still is one of the best things around in ag, and probably not many people know about it. These fittings, extender fittings or slip extender fittings, are one type, which means if you've accidentally cut a line, instead of having to put two joiners together, you know, and a bit of pipe in between them, and then pull them down and try and get it all to line up and be the right length, these things just make that process so much easier, and you can just cut both ends of your pipe, put them on, slide them open to whatever makes it the right width, and then tighten that up, and it's all done. So we've just put our tee in like this. We've cut a bit of pipe out of the line. It doesn't matter how much, it could have come right back to here. We've got quite a bit of play on these fittings. Line up your fitting like normal, and then that just slides out, so we can slide it in, get it on there, whatever length it is. It could have come right back to here if we had a big break, if I'd hit it with a digger or something, and just do the fitting up from there. Once that's all tightened up, just tighten this one back here too. You try and do all your fittings, of course, in the cool of the day. There's over every 100 metres of, say, 63mm pipe, you lose 10 centimetres. Over a kilometre, you lose a metre in shrink or expansion and contraction. So you try and do all your pipe work in the middle of the day, in the early mornings, which sort of helps because everything's already contracted and it doesn't put as much pressure on your fittings. But that's a really quick way to fix pipes. It's more evident actually when you cut it with a trencher or something. Really quick way to fix big breaks. That's an extender fitting. Slip fittings are slightly different but the same concept. You don't have as big a gap to play with. It uses an extended sleeve in there to make it that you can cut quite a wide gap in your pipe and have it so it will join up at any width. That's why we went with Geico or Norma, as they're called now. Plasson is probably the main fitting we sell though, mainly because when we're doing solar pump setups, hanging a pump down a borehole, Plasson were the only ones that would give us a grip rating on their fittings. So they're the only ones that could tell us how much weight we could hang off that fitting before you had issues. And so that was and those fittings they're by far the best and of the more common fittings around. So we mainly do Plasson fittings now. 22 metres plus length.
Do you lift up a metre or?
It's a 26 metre pole.
Oh yeah.
Sitting at 20. Just getting back to some real basics. Okay, so when you come to the shop, you see different types of pipes. Some of them have got a green line on them, and some have got a blue line on them. The green line is a metric. The green line is a rural fitting, a rural pipe. They're also in imperial measure. So that's a 2-inch pipe. This is a blue line, which is a 50mm. So although 2-inch and 50mm are fairly close, the difference is that the 2-inch is measured as an internal diameter, the 50mm is measured as an external diameter. Some people say, oh, the blue line ones, they're the high pressure ones. That's not always the case. You can get the most important thing with your blue line pipe is it's pressure rated, so at least you know what you're getting. With rural pipe, there's no international standards. It's about a PN8, but there's no real international standards to say what it is. With your blue line pipe, you can get whatever wall thickness you need, you get whatever pressure you need. So you don't get a PN16, or if you're getting a high pressure application, or a PN8 if you're just doing what you do with normal rural pipe. Normal rural pipe, I would say Australia is probably one of the few places left in the world that sell it now. There's a lot of problems with it. One is the pressure rating issue. A second is the fittings require a sleeve that goes down the middle of the pipe to hold it together. So when the pressure builds up, that sleeve can loosen. With a different brand of fitting, I've just spent the last 3 months trying to find problems after these fittings get to about 10 years old, especially the rural fittings, especially in a brand that we don't sell, they break. And I can pretty much tell now that any problem we've got is with that brand of fitting and rural pipe. Save yourself time, save yourself money, use blue line pipe, or if you're going to do a new setup from scratch. The only time you'd use rural pipe probably is if you wanted to use the same type of fittings and link in with the system you've already got. Same thing happens in all different sizes. That's an example of a 32 mil next to an 1.25 inch. You see the internal diameter versus external diameter. Again, you can get pressure rating, which is written on the side of the pipe for the different diameters, but you can't get that with rural. Rural is just what it is. Solar pumps we sell are excellent. They are an Italian pump that's very unique in the market. Only Grundfos and Livestock have this type of technology that you can run it on AC or DC, so you can jump straight from being a solar pump to plug it into mains power or a generator on an alternating current, and it makes no difference. The inverter is inside the pump, not above the ground. Really unique pump, great. Okay, when you're talking about borehole pumps or submersible pumps, these Livestock pumps are fantastic in that they have an inbuilt inverter. That means you can go from AC to a DC power supply, or run it from a generator or a power supply and switch to solar, either through a control box or just directly plugging it from one to the other. Pretty unique. There's no need for a box above ground to do that. It's all built into the pump. So that's why we really think these are probably the best pump on the market. They're Italian made. We've gained a lot of experience over the years with different things. We use any systems we set up where we have portable troughs. We use a lot of these turf valves where you don't have to have a tap above the ground. The water line is activated when your key pushes into the turf valve, meaning you don't have a tap that an animal can lick and turn on accidentally. They're a great little product, and we use them a lot in regenerative ag setups where we have movable troughs and movable infrastructure. Talking on troughs, Australian-made products, we really try and push Australian-made wherever we can. This cocky valve is a really good quality valve that will operate in an incredible range of pressures. Probably the best on the market, I would say, stainless steel construction and Australian-made. If you've got really high pressure applications though, these job valves have proven themselves to be probably the most reliable thing on our own farms. So I guess the point is that we try out all this stuff. We see it working in a holistically managed setup. We've made mistakes and we've learned from them, but we're real farming operations, so we can give you advice from the ground up. And we try stuff out. We don't just take the rep's word for it. If some new product comes in, we always try it out before we bother trying to market it. So there's a few examples of what we do. Come in and have a yarn anytime though. Keep an eye out for these slip bit fittings and the telescopic fittings. They're life changers. If you've got a few of them sitting in your cupboard, in your inventory, that really makes life easy when you get a blowout in a water line in the middle of the night and you can't work out where it's from, or someone hits one with a grater or a trench digger. And happy to discuss more about any of this stuff and whatever else we've got at the shop. Thank you.